Hey, Geekscapists!
Hey.
It is Matt Kelly here, along with Marissa. Marissa, how about
That's
real
me.
quick, while people are starting to funnel in? Well, actually, while
Hmm.
people are funneling in,
Yeah.
I'll start because it's not important if they don't hear what I am a part of, and then we'll let you do your promotion when there's a few more eyes on
Oh,
the
I love it.
product, as they say. So
Let's do it.
I am pretty much the person who runs Geekscape TV right now from behind the scenes. Very excited. We're in 2025. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff like this now that we're in the new year. We've got a couple cool video projects coming up. Marissa, I haven't. We got a video. I think in a
I'm so
week,
excited.
like next week, we're doing a video that I wrote that and did the voiceover for. That's the top 10 best Muppet exclusive performances from the Muppet Show.
Ooh.
So when the Muppets performed without any
Wow.
guest. And then a week or two after that, we have the definitive Geekscape top 10 Snick shows list,
Ooh. That's
which
a hard
was,
one.
yeah, we pulled as many people from the network as we could and had a whole point structure there. We've got a couple of other great ones. The one that's like killing me is that I think in early February, we're going to be doing a video of like the top 10 viral moments of the early YouTube days. And
Wow. That's a hard one.
we had like 40 different videos that people submitted. So like it's one of those ones where I'm looking at our top 10 and I'm like, yes, like I have no complaints about what's in the top 10, but then I look at the other 30 that are like also in contention. I'm like, but these are all important and great also. Like
Dude, that's what's hard about lists, man.
yeah,
Like it's
you're always disappointing somebody with that list.
agreed. And
Um
usually I thrive on that, but it gets hard.
but I also host a bunch of shows on the network: Christmas 365, Horror Movie Night, Weird Algorithm, the brand new Christian Cringe, which we got to get you on Christian Cringe
Oh, please.
pretty soon,
I'm
Marissa.
in.
But you also host a very popular show on the podcast. I
Oh,
believe
thank
we've
you.
started making plans of some fun month-long event that we might be doing with your
Yes.
podcast. So tell people
Yes.
who are starting to tune in a little bit about your podcast as well, and then we'll get into these predictions.
Absolutely. Well, first, thank you so much for having me, Matt. But
Of
yeah, I
course.
am from the Jersey Ghouls. We are a comedy slash feminist slash whatever horror podcast. We like to talk about all things horror, try to give it a little bit of an academic tinge, if you will. And yeah, we love doing lists too. So I'm so excited for our big collab coming up in March.
Yes, that is going to be a good time. Now we are here to do
Oh, so
something
exciting.
that we are like admittedly not the most qualified to do, as we were
Oh
talking
God, no.
beforehand. But we're going to talk about the Golden Globes because it's Sunday night. Golden Globes is like the true kickoff to like what is, I think, 2 months of like exciting
Season
award shows. Like
for sure.
because we
I
get the
agree. I'm
Grammys
really
in the
into it
middle of there, which like I rarely know what's being nominated in the grand scheme of things, but I'm still very
because you're
excited
getting
to
old.
watch. Yeah, we are. I mean,
That's what happens when you're old. You start not
it
knowing all the new artists.
no, we truly don't. But I mean, Oscars is like I live for the Oscars more than any other
Me too.
award show. So, but
Same. I'd like to think I have no real expertise here other than A, I love film and TV and watch like that's pretty much how I occupy all my free time. And B, I'm really petty and snarky like most hosts out there. So I feel like if like if I've learned nothing from watching years and years of these shows. It's that if you're a little funny and kind of mean, you'll do really well at this prediction stuff. So I'm in.
yes.
Like,
Now the thing that we talked about that we have to be honest with is that you and I both feel like we got a lot more of the TV shows in
for
than the
sure.
movies. And a big part of that was like streaming exclusive shows absolutely crushed it at the Golden Globes this year.
100%.
Like
As they
it's
should, because
almost
that's
all
where, yeah.
streaming content. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I
it's
mean,
streaming content and Abbott Elementary is basically the nominees this year.
if it wasn't for Abbott Elementary, I would say that real TV is basically dead. They're like keeping it alive single handedly. That and Yellowstone. Is that on
Yeah,
regular TV?
I
I feel
think it
like the
is.
boomers are keeping that alive.
But when it comes to like the movies, a lot of these are like either just came out or like in that limbo stage where they're either like a $20 rental on your TV, which I'm just absolutely flat out
No,
refusing to
I
do.
can't. I'm in
So
public education. I can't do
yeah,
that.
the two of us are most likely going to be back here in roughly a month talking about the Oscars, and I think we'll
Heck
be
yeah.
a little bit more informed on the movies when we get to the Oscars.
Yeah, I do have privilege of screeners for Oscars, but I have not gotten nearly enough of them yet, so.
Well, I will send you my address, and if you
Yeah.
watch your screeners and want to send them
Absolutely
my
not.
way for
That's
predictions.
I would never do that. They're all online now. Actually, they kind of ruined the fun of it because when it was DVDs, it was a lot easier to illegally pass them around, but now it's just a code, a one-time watch, and you're done.
Oh,
Yeah,
that really is annoying.
they've
The
taken all the fun
one-time
out of it.
watch is how they really kill you.
Oh, they get you.
All right. Well, I'm going to make this a little bit simpler
Dive
for
in,
both of
let's
us
do
and
it.
just
Oh,
pull up
this
the Wikipedia page for us to
oh, look,
follow
we're so
along with.
professional. We have Wikipedia up for this. I love it.
Well, especially listen, if there's one thing that people know about me when it comes to any of this stuff is that I will massacre the pronunciation of a thing.
Oh my gosh, me
So,
too. I'm not great at that.
yeah, so I think it's easier if we just like have the screen filled with what the options
Perfect.
are, and then we just kind of talk about our feelings here. So we're
Okay.
looking at the drama films, which I have not seen any of the dramas, right?
Not a one. I saw Dune Part 2.
Okay.
I am not gonna spend 4 hours on The Brutalist. I won't do it. Like, there are
What are you
movies that I will just aggressively say I'm not gonna do, and if it has listen, you had me at Adrian Brody and post-war, like, I know that's gonna go right to the top of the Oscar pile, but I'm not gonna do it. 4 hours? No, thank you.
well, what are we what's like the rumors that we're hearing? People are really talking a lot about A Complete Unknown. I don't know if that's recency
I
bias
don't
because it just came out.
I
Um,
think The Brutalist walks away with this.
you
I
know
think
why
you don't beat that movie when it comes to this kind
I
of crap.
I know, but you know that if The Brutalist wins that, then it's definitely going into the Oscars, and then we're going to be forced to watch it,
100%. Oh
and
my
then
gosh, yep, and I'm gonna have that's 4 hours I'll never and it'll probably be
it'll
amazing and, like,
probably be
life-changing.
amazing. But like, I didn't feel great after watching. Like, I was like, yeah, Oppenheimer was great. Still didn't feel like I needed to
Right.
dedicate 3 hours in my living room to it, but it was great. Um,
Agreed, no, we gotta
the
take our medicine.
We do have to talk about similar to the Emmys, the musical or comedy category is filled with a lot of films that are neither in my eyes.
Oh, that's funny,
Challengers
I
was
like all
not
of these
exactly a
films.
laugh riot when I sat down and watched
I
Challengers.
did not like knee slap through Challengers. No, I don't I enjoyed it. I don't think it stands a chance in this category because of the category,
Yeah, and the
right? Like,
substance I haven't seen yet, but I don't really hear about that being a
oh,
laugh riot either.
I mean,
Um,
I laughed, but I'm also a feminist with very evil, snarky black humor, so I thought it was hilarious, but, um, I'm surprised it's because right, if it doesn't fit well anywhere else, they just schlep it in this category, I
they
feel like.
really do. I mean, obviously, the one that I saw that I was moved powerfully by was Wicked.
Oh,
But
I
I
thought you were
don't
gonna say Amelia Perez. I was like, yeah, I agree.
I mean, I don't think Wicked's gonna win. I do think it's gonna come down to Amelia Perez, or I've been hearing a lot of people loving on
Honora.
Honora.
Me too. I really want to see that one. I'm mad. I almost like splurged for the show, but I figure I'll save her for the Oscars and hopefully the price will come down.
Yeah, like I'm hoping for the best with Honora. And then we'll also just look at the animated. It sounds like it's Wild Robot, right? Like that's like the grand
It's
consensus
Inside
I'm
Out
hearing
version.
is that it's amazing.
100%. Yeah.
But I've heard great things about Flow. I've heard great things about Memoir of a Snail. Um,
The only one on here I haven't seen is Memoir of a Snail because Wallace and Gromit just dropped on streaming.
Oh,
But
I thought that was tomorrow. I would have watched it today if I knew it was
no,
already out. No.
I think it's on there. The Wild Robot is just gonna sweep, I think, both the Oscars and here if I was a betting woman, which I am.
I I
um
I admittedly haven't seen Moana 2 yet, but from everything I've heard,
really
feels
good.
like it
Yeah.
shouldn't. Okay, so it is work because I've heard like a lot of like
No,
it's fine. I haven't
it's
heard
right,
like
it's
bad.
fine.
Like,
It's not it was a perfectly good sequel. Like, I thought Inside Out was 2 was good. I would place that above Moana 2, like, if I had to rank
yeah, yeah,
all of these. But no, The Wild Robot's gonna run away with it, and fair, you know?
cannot wait.
Um,
That's like the highest of all these movies. That's like highest of my. Do we think, as you being one who's watched more of these movies, are you thinking
mhm.
Wild Robot might even get a Best Picture nominee when they have those 10 options?
I wouldn't be surprised, and I feel like if it doesn't, it's only because it's animated.
Yeah.
But I think
I
it'll get a nod. With 10 slots, it's gonna get a
yeah.
nod. Because
I
if Dune 2 scraped in there somehow, like, you're reaching. Like, I loved the Dune movies, to be fair. I haven't watched the show yet, but, still though, really? Like, I was like, "Really?" Like,
like we can go
um,
right past non-English language because that's definitely Amelia Perez, right? Like that's
Perez.
like, I
Like,
mean that
not even
when a
yeah.
film is nominated for as many categories as that is,
Yeah,
and it's a foreign language film, it's like it's kind of a bummer for everything else. Um,
completely agree with you.
Now looking at the best actor and actress stuff, I feel like just what's the stuff that's jumping out at you? What's the stuff that you've heard
So
positive things about here?
this is gonna sound mean. It's just between us. I'm gonna be annoyed if Timothy Chalamet walks away with prizes this year, and I maybe I'll watch A Complete Unknown and be totally like my mind will be totally changed, but I don't know. From what I've seen so far, it's definitely Timothy Chalamet doing Bob Dylan, and
Yeah.
I don't want him to walk away with this. I would be really interested. I don't think they're. I think Sebastian Stan getting nominated was surprising to me. Um,
No
Not to
one's
say that he
really
didn't do a great
talking
job,
about the yeah, like, no one's really
'cause of
talking
who it
about The
is, right?
Apprentice.
Like,
Yeah,
nobody wants to talk about it, I think, to be
yeah.
fair. That's not to say that I don't think he's a talented actor. I think this really comes down to, Brody versus Chalamet, for
Okay.
me, personally. Who do you think is
Alright.
gonna take that one?
I mean, I've definitely been hearing Brody's name thrown around
Yeah.
a lot. But also, like, not for nothing, Sing Sing is one of those movies that I have just never stopped hearing people say how good it is. So this could be one of those weird
Yeah,
categories where it didn't get nominated in, like, the main categories, but they
but they
give
wanna
it
give it props here.
yeah, they give it props here. Um, as far as the actress category, uh, I mean, it would be there's part of me that loves a good story, right? And to me, the
Sure.
most interesting story is Pamela Anderson after like years of being kind of shit on as a bad
I
actress
agree, I
walks
love
away with
seeing
the award. I
yeah,
would love to
she's
see
not
it.
gonna. No,
No,
she's not
but
gonna, no. You don't get like, yeah, the fact that she's even nominated, I think, is enough to keep her you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think Kate Winslet did to me I did really enjoy Lee. Um, Although would I have ever watched it were it not nominated? Probably not. I gotta tell you this though, and I haven't seen The Room Next Door, but Swinton can stand on a screen and stare at me for 2 hours, and I'll still be like, "Best thing she's ever done." Like,
I mean, there's no
she can do no
lie
wrong.
to be found there.
Mhm.
I honestly, this is probably the actress in a drama has been the category I've heard the least amount of talk about at all as a conversation, and I don't know if it's just because like look at all the movies that are nominated. Like they're all movies that were not really nominated for anything
Anything
else.
else. I know, which is so sad. So I think Kidman might stand a chance here, and if nothing else, because she did remind us all that we love the movies.
She
When
did. I
in
mean,
the darkest of times, Nicole Kidman was there for us, Matt, and that alone to me, she deserves a Golden Globe for that. But I will say that movie, I've heard a lot of mixed, like, reviews on. Like,
okay.
I haven't seen it, and I'm curious. I mean, listen, I've got, 2 eyes and a mom libido. I'm into it, but I don't I don't know that it's really deserving of the recognition it's getting if it wasn't Nicole Kidman.
All right. Now here's the interesting thing where Sebastian Stan is nominated in both categories of
How is
comedy
this a
and
thing?
drama.
I'm confused. Like, and
Well,
I have to be honest,
here's the thing,
I don't know that movie.
Marissa. In one of them, he plays Donald Trump, but in the other movie, he plays a different man. Um, so-
How was The Apprentice not considered a comedy?
I
Because I don't understand. But, let's see here. So obviously Heretic was I've seen.
yes,
I've
I
only
loved
seen
Hitman. I don't think
dude,
Glenn
how
Powell's gonna
great
win
if
this,
Glenn
but
Powell
Hitman
wins
was
that.
great.
Oh my god, it was so much better than it had any right to be.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Kinds of Kindness, I'm very excited to sit down and watch just because I have such like a as you've already said earlier, I have such a hard on for that director.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
everything like Poor Things was so good last year. Um
Agreed.
but again, it's like another one of those things where it's like, okay, it's on Hulu. I can watch it whenever I want. It is 3 hours long and that becomes especially
That's
now that I live in a
hard.
home with children and I know what's in Kinds of Kindness
It's
becomes like a real I've got this small of a window to put this on and watch.
Oh my god, Matt, I feel like I should send you a welcome basket to the club because it is. It's truly having children and trying to maintain your pop culture, like, status is insanely difficult because so much of the stuff that, like, you would never want your kids to walk into the room while you're watching.
Yes. And even worse when it's not your kids, so you don't want them to walk in and then report to their real father what you were watching.
Stressful. That is a stress I don't have to worry about. The worst is they narc to my husband who really won't care.
Yeah.
So
But-
I have an actress hot take too.
Okay, I want to hear the actress hot take.
I really, really fell in love with Amy Adams' performance in Night Bitch.
I am so excited to watch Night Bitch because as a person who hosts a Weird Al podcast, the second that movie became readily available and she's singing Dare to Be Stupid in her car, like our Facebook page was flooded with people sending us that clip over and over again. So I'm like, all right. And I mean, just the concept of that movie has me intrigued. And 91 minutes. Like, what more can I ask for?
I seriously, it was so good. I have to say though, looking at this category, this one kills me because every single one of these women did a phenomenal job, and this is one of the only categories where, like, because short of Honora, I'm confident in all of these picks. But
yeah,
I'd love to see Demi Moore win just for the horror part of us, right? How great for a horror film to take it. They're not gonna, but
no, but also, like, I mean, I was kind of down the middle with challengers, but I think the reason why people even care about challengers is how good of a job Zendaya did.
I 100% agree with you. Yeah,
like she is what made that movie. So
she's
So I mean, we'll go with that.
So is that your official pick? There is you
I don't know. No, I mean, I think she could win it. I think that if
I don't think either of them get it. I think
I think Cynthia
it goes to what's her name. Yeah.
I think Cynthia.
Oh, you think Cynthia's getting no way?
I think Cynthia or Ariana. Someone is winning for Wicked. And I think
it's going to be Grande.
I know it's going to be Grande, but I think it should actually be Cynthia. If only one of them does win it, I think that Cynthia brought so much like legitimate sadness to her performance.
For sure. They both did an incredible job, but like, I don't know, dude, Demi Moore put it all out there emotionally, physically, literally, metaphorically. And that was my hardest category, ironically, was the actress one. Like, so many good choices there.
Do we have any takes on the supporting actor and supporting actress? And I have to say, I'll explain this even more when we get to the TV stuff. I hate that supporting actor and supporting actress are combined with the drama and the comedy stuff while everything else is separated.
Yeah, it's so crappy.
Because it makes it so much harder. It makes it so it's impossible if you're in the comedy category to even have a chance. I mean, of these, again, like you said, the Brutalist is going to be kind of the, like, if you're just doing a poll, just like throw the Brutalist down for the answer and you might be right.
Like, if you're right, if you're gambling on this, just to be, but I think, I don't know, something's telling me Culkin is going to do better. Yeah. Like, I've heard a lot of positives about that performance, but I don't really know too many of these. Supporting actress, that's a hard one, man. Like, I'd love to see Zoe Saldana, I get it, but I don't know, man. What do you think?
You think Ariana? You really think Ariana is going to get that one? You were saying that over and over again. I'd be interested to see. I mean, people are raving. This might be where The Substance could get it. Honestly, I think, like you said, it's a horror movie. I feel like horror movies win in these, like, I hate to say it like this because every award is an award, but like these lower stakes categories is where you're more likely to see a horror win. Like,
yeah, agreed. That's why I think if Heretic stands a chance at all, horror, and we're both on horror podcasts, so we're obviously biased, but horror gets the short end of the stick every time. I don't think that Margaret's, like, if anybody deserves it for The Substance, that's Demi, 100%. Like,
yeah.
So
I just feel like it's going to be a harder. I feel like it's going to be a harder win for, like, an actress category. Like screenplay, maybe. Like The Substance is nominated for screenplay, like, maybe. Because it is, from what everyone's telling me and from what I know you've said, like, it is a very unique screenplay.
I think she has to give half of it to Cronenberg for The Fly, but other than that,
I keep hearing Society, but that's fine.
Society's actually that's because no, that's Society's the reference not many people would get. That's why. Uh,
Yeah, I think after we do these last two, the screenplay and
yeah.
the director, I mean, we don't no one cares what our opinions are on the scores and the cinematic
Yeah,
box
we
office
can keep it
achievements.
moving. Keep
Yeah.
scrolling on them. Let's get to TV where you and I live. You and I
Yeah.
are the TV of the. You know what I mean? Like this
But
adds up.
but real quick, since you are the one who's seen more of these, what are your
Mhm.
picks at least for director and screenplay?
This is really hard. I think that director really is up in the air because I think they love to make a new person at these award season
Oh
is
yeah.
nothing if not creating a new person everybody cares about. So while it would be easy to chalk it up and be like, "Oh yeah, it's going to go to the brutalist," I think any of these people are game. I would love to actually see one of the smaller films like Honora or Amelia get it. Who knows? What's your thought on that?
I was actually my eyes were going to Amelia, right?
Okay,
Like it's
I've heard it's
the
amazing.
it's the most nominated film this year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
And
12, right?
like I think it
There's a
would
reason.
like you said, like they're going to try they want to make a big name. And I don't think that
Mhm.
Amelia is going to sweep. Like I think it's going to have those 12 nominees and it's only going to win one or two. And I think one of them is going to be for either director or screenplay. You know what I mean? Like it's going to
Yeah,
set up a like look at how incredible this Jacques person is. Like
yeah,
it's going to be those like moments. I don't know. I really
I'm with
like
you.
again. There's so I feel like one of the reasons why I feel so out of the loop on the movies is that usually throughout the year, you're always hearing about like these incredible movies. And I feel like a lot of these nominees were kind of like under the radar releases or like
And
didn't
this
have a
is
lot of like hype up about them coming
right.
out.
This is the gripe that we all have with award show season,
Yeah.
right? Like, I always, like, get mad at myself for buying into the award show season because we all know how problematic it is at best, but would we even be talking about any of these films if they weren't nominated? You know what I mean? Like, I
No.
wouldn't have sought out half of these films. So, like, sometimes I do love that these are all names that aren't, like, household names. I do
Yeah,
love
that's awesome.
that,
But
because yeah, to heck with
but it
big time
also
old
makes
Hollywood
but it
names, but
also makes it like not for nothing. That's why the Oscars moved up to 10 best picture best picture nominees again because it was like there's too many films that no one's heard of. We need to have movies that like
that are,
the
like, people
the
know.
regular people would be like, "Oh, I want to tune in to see if the Batman is going to win." Like,
And then that it's like a chicken or the egg for me because 'cause I'm like, am I just, like, not classy as a moviegoer where I'm always gonna pick, like, The Substance or Wicked over The Brutalist? Or, like,
but
I don't know.
it's not for nothing like a lot of these movies weren't even in like a wide release situation. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Like, so it's just like it kind of becomes an award show for people who live either in New York or LA for a lot of
Mhm.
them, where these are
Or
like
people who
just
are in that business, yeah.
yes. So let's jump to TV because that's more of
Let's do
our
it.
world
Oh, I'm
anyway.
ready.
All
I
right.
have seen it.
So
I
I'm
feel
gonna
good.
come up and be upfront right now. I am way more of a comedy than drama watcher.
Okay,
Um, that being said, with the dramas, I watched Mr. and Mrs. Smith as it aired,
okay.
and
I watched a few.
I watched Shogun just this week. Is that the Squid Game that came out like 2 days ago that's nominated for drama? That can't be the
I
one
had
that
the
was from
same
like two
question.
years ago. Like
I was really confused about that one because I was like, "Wait a minute, this" um, I
yeah,
really
something doesn't
liked
make
Mr. and
sense
Mrs.
there.
Smith. The Diplomat didn't hold my attention, like, I didn't find myself wanting to go back to it. So what was up with Shogun? Was it awesome?
I mean, it's really, really good. It's just not my wheelhouse. Like, it's
Mm,
one of those shows we've all experienced those, like, shows or those movies where you're watching it and you're just like, "I know that this is great television and that this is, like,
yeah,
everything that you want," or even movies. "I know that this is an amazing movie. It's just not for me," but you can still respect the craft. And, like,
yeah,
that's the whole time I'm like, "This is impressive." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
the Bingetown TV podcast, I'm sure if we had any of them on here, that would be the one that they're saying, "It's going
that
to
would be where
this."
they're both
It's
yeah, I think so
and
too.
I think so too. Like, it it was supposed to be a limited series that was so overwhelmingly well received that I believe they're going to do a second season in some way, whether it's as an anthology show or something else. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's the one that everybody's thinking is going to win this,
yeah.
right?
And I mean, it did amazing at the Emmys, so I would imagine that the Golden Globes is gonna follow suit
Follow suit.
in that sense.
And then
Now,
the comedy series, that is the next category is like the hardest for me.
well, the next category is hard because like there's a lot of stuff here that I liked, but do I think it's good? You know what I mean?
Oh my God, really?
Like I liked Nobody Wants This. I liked this season of Only Murders in the Building, but I don't think that either one of them is like award-winningly great. And
Completely agree with you.
and even with like The Bear, like put aside the like The Bear shouldn't be nominated for a comedy. The most recent season wasn't a good season of The Bear. I did not like season 3 of The
Wow, I
Bear.
loved this season.
To me, I think
My
it's
God,
Abbott
just what they
Elementary.
did.
I think
Boring.
it's Abbott for me. But I also admittedly have not watched Hacks, which like
It's so good.
yeah, that's what I keep
Hacks
hearing.
is my pick. Yeah.
Hacks is my blind spot.
Okay.
I just think Abbott
So
Elementary
Nobody
is
Wants This is mine. Yeah.
like Abbott Elementary is doing that. Oh my God, knowing you, you would love Nobody Wants This so much. And it is. It's an easy breezy 8 episodes, 25
Perfect.
to 30
I've
minutes
only
an
seen like,
episode.
yeah.
Oh yeah, speed
Okay.
run that bad boy. You'll be
All
fine.
right. I love Hacks. I
Yeah.
love Abbott Elementary. I do. And like I said, I single-handedly think they're keeping network television alive.
I
But
mean, look at the nominees.
but
they're
if I had to
they're the only nominee that's not a streaming service. Like
I know, which good for them, holding on tight. I think Hacks gets it. I think The Bear was amazing. I think I don't know. I think Abbott Elementary has a good chance, but
The Bear just shouldn't be in the comedy category to me, and it hasn't for a long time. The first season maybe, but seasons 2 and 3
our drama. Yeah,
yeah.
I would agree with you on that one. All right, limited series. Oh, this is fun, dude. Baby Reindeer. I watched, like I binged for this. I have never been more uncomfortable watching something in my life.
I also knocked out Baby Reindeer this weekend,
Yeah.
and
Oh my God. Right.
it's really good. I don't want it to
good.
go. I do not want it to go to Monsters. I just have and I haven't even watched all of Monsters yet, but like, I just don't. There's something about the Ryan Murphy style of limited series anthology whatever that he does that I have never liked.
Oh my God. It's like when you're having a bad night and you go to Taco Bell. Like
Yeah.
it feels so good, but then you feel dirty afterwards.
I
That's
also
what I liken it to.
I feel like a
No?
huge dummy because I didn't know what Ripley was. I still haven't watched Ripley. I did not really. Do you know what? That's a
Talented Mr. Right?
Yeah, it's a TV show version of Talented Mr. Ripley. I had no clue.
I heard great things when it came out, but I just never got around to it.
Disclaimer, I haven't gotten around to yet. The Penguin I started, and it's fantastic. The Penguin's the one that I think has if it's not Baby Reindeer, I think it's the Penguin. But again, I watched the Emmys. Baby Reindeer took every award that it was nominated
which
for.
Annoyed me a little bit, given I don't know, dude.
I hate a clean sweep. It kind of ruins, unless it's like the only time I've enjoyed a sweep was the final season of Schitt's Creek and them like taking everything.
Yeah,
but that was because it was like the feel good show that we all needed. It was like the show that shouldn't have worked, but it did. Like Baby Reindeer, I feel like there's too much of this, like, is it true? Is it not controversy surrounding it sometimes? And it's a lot. Like
my pick here is True Detective. I thought it was flawless up until the ending. I thought it was just the perfect, most atmospheric thing I've seen in a hot minute. And I am actually like mad that it didn't get more nominees. Nominations, excuse me. But yeah, that would it would be between that and the Penguin for me. I would love to see Baby Reindeer not do as well.
Yeah.
Because I just there's so much ick there. Best performance in stand up. Oh, if Nikki does, I hope Nikki gets it just because she's hosting. She deserves it.
Yeah.
Wait,
I just went right past that.
Oh, really? Oh,
I was like, this is like my least favorite category. You got Seth Meyers, Nikki Glaser, Jamie Foxx, Adam Sandler, Ali Wong. I love
Ali. Either of the women need to get it.
I would go with Nikki then because I was so underwhelmed by that Ali Wong.
Were you? Oh, I love.
Oh, yeah.
I just read her book. I might be a little like mushing the two together in my head. All right, actor. Let's get serious here.
Yeah,
so
actor drama. Okay. All right. So looking at this, I mean, again, like I said,
he presumes innocent. Did you?
I didn't, but Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I've got a Donald Glover and Maya both were the reason that show
I
worked.
I
Like,
agree. I think they're and I love Donald Glover so much that I'd love to see him walk away with that.
now that being said, as I said, I've been watching Shogun. I really do think that they're going to win for this one,
Yeah,
because
for both categories, I think
the
so too.
performance that's happening there is incredible. But I would love to see a surprise Emma win for actress. I would love to see our little girl go from Pen 15
She's all grows up.
to
Yeah.
like grown up and crushing it.
She did great. She did great in that show. I love that show.
I
I was
haven't
surprised it didn't get more.
I haven't started Matlock yet, but
Oh.
I will tell you that Joe Farron of Fright School thinks it's like the best new TV show of the
I
year.
tell you what, someone I trust very much was like, "You need to watch it because it is so you, and you're gonna love." And I watched one episode just to kind of have. I'm in love with her performance. I want her to win.
Okay, there we
Yeah,
go.
Kathy Bates for the win for me. But you're right. Shogun is probably gonna get gonna
At
sweep the
least for
two.
the actor, the performance in that is so good. Let's get into what's way more our speed, which
Oh, for
is
sure.
the actor and actress for
Oh,
comedy.
yeah. This is
Um,
so good.
I'm throwing a hot one out there right now
Okay.
because I just binged the show in one day. I cried myself sick. Ted Danson in A Man on the Inside is
Wow,
just
okay.
giving the performance of his career in that show. And I would
Wow.
love to see him go from like doing your kind of like, Cheers is right
You're
there
Ted
with
Danson, yeah.
MASH, with like the setting the standard for the modern sitcom type show, but then to like fall into that beautiful dramedy that he's able to do. Do you know anything about Man on the Inside at
I
all?
do not. I'm
Okay.
definitely gonna put it on my to watch list.
So Man on the Inside is the newest show from Michael Schur. It was what he did after The Good Place. Ted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's based on a true story. There's a documentary that he based it on about a private investigator who was supposed to be investigating a retirement home. So she hired an 80-something-year-old man to be her man on the inside at the retirement home. And
Oh,
he takes
wow.
that concept and makes it more comedic. But where the drama is that Ted Danson's wife a year prior died from dementia. And so many of the people in the retirement home also have dementia.
Oh,
And it's like you're watching him try to play spy, and he's very, very funny at playing spy, but he's also being forced to face this thing that's haunted him since his wife died, like head on. And the way that it'll just like flip that switch from like you're
mm.
laughing uncontrollably to like you are sobbing and need like a full box of tissues to consult, like to calm
Wow,
down.
okay.
It's
The Good Place did that to me a few
The Good
times.
Place did that a lot of times, and the other show that's been doing that is Shrinking for me. But I don't think
Yeah,
I
fair.
don't think this is Jason Segel's year. But we're gonna get to the supporting
No.
actor, and if Harrison Ford doesn't get like, I'm not sure if you've been
He's
watching
like the
Shrinking.
favorite, right? I've only seen a few episodes.
The last episode of this season, he is so believable as a man with Parkinson's disease that it like
Wow.
like Barb and I have been talking about it, and I was like, he for his entire career he's been like action character that you basically just assume is who Harrison Ford is in real life, and now he's playing this character that is so
Wow.
layered that it's really proving like no, he's been an actor since day one. Like,
For
yeah,
sure,
he plays
yeah.
into his gruffness that is his like natural
That's his bread and butter, sure.
personality, but yeah, I mean, I think that Ted Danson would be the like underdog win.
Okay.
And that's truly my favorite. Adam Brody, I mean, listen, I just finished an entire podcast for 2 years about the OC.
Yeah,
So
I
I
had
would
you
love to
not
see him
love Adam
win,
Brody.
but I mean, Ted Danson's who I want to see win.
Fair
Maybe
enough.
Jason Segel wins it. Again, I just don't think
Yeah,
this
that
is
would
the
be
year for the Bear. I think the Bear had too many
no.
like award heavy sweeps lately, and I just
I
don't think
agree. I
season
don't think they give
3
it to it.
did it. Like now,
No, I agree with you. I agree with you on
yeah.
that. Looking at the
Now
actress category though,
actress is
it's
tough, right?
hard.
Because I there is a valid argument for every single one of these people. Even though I haven't seen Hacks, I know how beloved Jean Smart's
Oh my
performance
god.
is throughout
Oh
it.
my god.
Um,
Makes the show.
I don't like
I
I had mixed thoughts on the entirety of Agatha all along, but the thing that kept me coming back was Catherine Hahn's
for sure.
performance.
Yeah.
Like
For sure.
Selena Gomez, like, going from, like,
Is
this Disney pop
adorable.
star to being
I
so
know.
funny on the show, like,
So good. Didn't think she had it in her.
but you know
I'm
what?
always
Look,
like, good for her.
yeah, I'm gonna sound like a super fan, but again, Quinta brings such an energy to Abbott Elementary.
Oh my god.
I think it's similar to when we were talking about comedies this year. I think it's gonna come down to Abbott or Hacks
I
again.
agree.
And
She is
I love when
didn't she win already though? Doesn't she already
she
have one?
but
Or does she have
doesn't
an
didn't
Emmy?
Hacks also win a bunch already? Like, I feel like
But yeah, that's true. Hacks
it's
did.
just like
But
these two
nobody's
shows that
still
won
at
a
least paying
bunch.
attention to Hacks, I feel like. Like
No.
I want to scream for dude, would I love to see Catherine Hahn walk away with that? Yes, I would.
Yeah.
I do. I know it's not gonna happen, but man,
No.
it would make me
That's
happy.
the honestly least likely of the nominees.
No, for sure.
It's Catherine
For
Hahn
sure.
and Kristen Bell, like, in the bottom of
I
the will
agree.
win category.
I agree. But I wouldn't be mad about any of them.
Yep. Now, for the limited series and anthology,
Okay.
what I'm gonna say is that I do not think that Colin Farrell will win this for the Penguin,
Wow, which is
but it,
I think he's got a really good chance.
but I think that the mother from How I Met Your Mother, who's also in the Penguin as Sophia, I mean,
Oh, I don't think I ever
from
caught that that's who that is. That's
yeah,
really funny.
from the day that show debuted, people have been talking about her performance in that show.
That's fair
I think that this could be a big win for her.
for her.
Um,
I wouldn't be
an
mad
act
about it.
an actress who I
Nah,
was
Jodie
joking
Foster gets
around
this though.
I was joking around that she has had, like, she's been discovered like 8 different times now.
I agree.
Like, there's
I agree.
constantly it's like when she was the mother in How I Met Your Mother, it's like, who's this amazing new actress? And then she kind of disappeared. And then she was in Palm Springs with Andy Samberg, and everyone's like, who's this amazing actress? And then she disappeared. So I think that
I
this
think
is
Jodie Foster gets it though.
I mean, look,
Did you watch True
I
Detective?
didn't. But
So
I feel
good.
like I want to just watch that season. I've never watched any of True Detective, but
The
that
first
season
one and
seems
that one.
so
Yeah,
in
the
my
only one too.
wheelhouse. Yeah. For
It
best
was good,
actor,
man.
I really do think Richard Gadd for Baby Reindeer. As much as, like, I don't want to see it win a bunch of stuff because it already did in the Emmys, his character was just so pathetically nuanced that, like,
I probably should have watched it 3 months ago so I could digest it before I came on because
yeah,
I feel so shook still by all of
yeah,
it, and, like, I don't know how to feel about all the controversy and, like, is he exploiting a real situation? Is he did all of this I don't know. Make a
it is.
fictional
It's
show then, dude, like, that's
yeah.
you're I get it. You couldn't you
Now,
I feel
that
like
being said, the person that Baby Reindeer is supposedly based on didn't, like, have a huge leg to stand on when her biggest complaint of slander was that the show said she had been arrested previously for stalking, but she hadn't been. But it's like, so you're still admitting that you did. I don't know. There's something
I
weird.
don't know.
There's
It broke
also
my heart.
there's a weird ass energy. I feel like if someone tells a true story and actively changes all the characters' names to protect the innocent, and then you still put yourself out there as, like, I'm the one that
That's
this
what
whole
I'm
thing's
saying.
based on. It's
I
like
know. But
that.
I don't know. You're right. But she definitely like, you're right. She could have gotten away with it. Nobody would have known she was the
No,
woman for Baby Reindeer in a million
she
years.
could have just lived
Like,
a normal, happy life.
but
Like,
should she have had to? I don't know. I'm like, dude, I get it, but just write a story. Like, just write a fictional story. I think
just write a
blending
fictional
this
story.
is because you definitely like how much of that really happened to you. And
Yeah,
if it didn't, are you exploiting our emotions then?
but
You know
for
what I mean?
me,
I don't know. I have issues
like,
with
legitimately, the number one reason why I'm going with Richard for this,
it.
though,
Okay.
is
Because you
I don't
secretly
think
think that his character's funny. His comedy is
no,
funny.
no, no. But I'm going to talk about his comedy. It's that
Ugh,
scene in the penultimate episode when he has the breakdown on stage is such,
it's really
like,
good.
a
Yeah.
heavy, emotional, real moment that I'm like, God, that I mean, that is acting. That's either acting or reality, and whatever it is, it's like, kudos, sir. Like,
I
that's
don't know.
probably the only part where I'm like, all right, Baby Reindeer, if it only wins one award, it should go to him for actor.
That's super fair. He did a
Yeah,
phenomenal job with it. I mean, I my personal mixed emotions about the story he's telling aside, he did a phenomenal job. I agree. I would. be happy to see him in other things because it was so good and it was complicated. It was a good story. You're right. All right, you're winning me over. I just hated the it factor, man. Like,
Oh, I mean,
ah,
listen, you and I are both in the same category where we would rather
we're like
not deal
Muppets.
with the
Yeah,
ick factor of it
right,
all.
right.
But I mean,
We're
when
way
it's
too optimistic for
listen,
that.
you and I both though are like we hate the ick factor, but we'll sing the praises of the one time we were able to get through Hereditary. You know what I mean? Like
That's so true.
it's like we watched it once, I'll never want to
We
watch it
did it.
again,
I'll
but it's
never
a
do it again,
masterpiece
but
and
I
I'll
did,
tell
and it
everybody
was
that it is.
good. No, that's fair.
Like,
That's fair. It definitely, it was definitely provoked. Like, it was a good show. Yeah.
yeah,
All
that's like
when
what
all is
Baby
said and
Reindeer
done.
is. I will never rewatch Baby Reindeer.
No,
There's never going to
not
be
in
a
a
point.
million years.
But like Hereditary, there are going to be parts
It
of
was
that
great.
show that sit in my brain for the rest of my
Oh
life.
my God, live rent free in my head.
Yeah.
100%. I hate it, but it was good.
I,
Yeah.
so
Needed
you said
to.
Jodie Foster for sure is your
Yeah,
actress pick.
my pick.
What are you leaning on for actor though? Do you think this is Colin
I
Farrell's
think
year?
Gad is gonna get. I think if I think I think he deserves it. I wouldn't be mad to see Farrell get it,
Yeah.
but I think you won me over, dude. I think Gad is probably gonna get it, and I probably will be okay with it thanks to you.
It's the first
Yeah.
time I've ever successfully convinced anybody of anything.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
all right, and then the last
Why
category,
we can't be left
supporting
alone, the two of us.
the supporting actor. Like I said, I would put all my money on Harrison Ford. That final
Okay, I'm gonna
performance.
just back you up on that because I've only
Yeah,
seen a couple of these, so I have heard amazing things. I have to looking at the
man,
girls section. Dude, the
God,
chick from Baby Reindeer. I
I
wish
was I
Terry
was
should have been
literally gonna
nominated.
say I'm gonna she should not be in supporting actress. She should just be in actress in my mind,
Okay, okay.
right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
what is supporting about that? Like I don't understand how they divide that in
It's so
like
complicated, yeah. Because even
but
like
it's like
Ariana versus Cynthia, you could make that
yeah,
argument too.
yeah, I'm equally confused by that. But like with this one, I'm just like I was gonna say I feel like I have to like take my foot out of my mouth because I just said the only thing that Baby Reindeer should win is Richard for actor. But I mean, again, she, I as we were watching that as we were watching that show, I looked at Barb and I was like, I feel if this particular actress isn't already married, I feel bad for her in the dating world now because she's so believable.
It's
Like
so creepy and
like she's
yeah.
so believable as this really unhinged, creepy person that like even if that's
Oh, I
not who
know.
she is in the real world, I feel like that's going to be such a hurdle to
Oh,
get
for
over
sure.
because that's all you're going to think about when you meet her is like you're the stalker from Baby Reindeer. Like
Oh, for
that's
I know, and she did do a good job with it. She was truly, like simultaneously, I felt bad for her, but I was also terrified of her, so I gotta give her that.
that
I would
and
love
I
to see True
read
Detective get this too,
I know
but
you would. I before I was like she's going to pick True Detective again. Well, tell
it's
me
hard though, like,
so the
okay,
battle
so
of True Detective versus Hacks. Like that's the other one that you're a huge fan
ooh,
of.
that's and
And
I
this
know,
is
and now I'm mad that I didn't see Ripley, but because I saw everything else in this category. I also love I love Allison Janney too. This is a really hard one. She even though that show isn't something I'm dying to go back to and watch the rest of, like, she did a great job too. Yeah, I'm gonna die on the hill with True Detective for this. I think
all
when it
right.
comes to a limited series, for it to be as effective. So I guess I didn't realize Hacks and the Penguin were limited until somebody told me that. So fair enough.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
don't they have
because
more than one? Hacks definitely has more than one season, right?
well, this is just generic supporting. That's what I'm saying. The supporting actor and
Oh, it could
supporting
be
actress
anything.
get
Got
lumped
it.
into
Okay.
everything.
That
It
is
doesn't matter if
so
it's
hard.
comedy,
Yeah.
drama, or a limit. Like it really
So
narrows the
hard.
whole fucking pot. Like,
I do think House of the Dragon got snubbed for a lot,
yeah, it was
right?
only nominated for an actress award, I think.
Yeah.
Which, like,
Which she was the best thing about that
yeah.
show, but yeah, I
Well,
don't know. I'm okay with whatever.
it's exciting either way. I am very excited with Nikki Glazer as the host. I think that she's going to bring a much
She
needed energy
is.
to the show. I
Dude, I
think
can't
we
wait till she
needed
makes everybody mad.
yeah, well that's the thing. Like we need Ricky Gervais energy without it being Ricky Gervais. You know what I mean?
Agreed, agreed.
Like
We
I
need,
don't
like,
like Ricky Gervais, but I like that he had a
Weekend
don't
Update
give a
vibes.
fuck who I upset
Mhm.
energy.
100%. I think we have to, like, the whole "it's the '90s, it's fine" needs to be applied to this. Like, we need
Yeah.
to go into this being like, "We're gonna laugh, and we're gonna be everybody be cool, all right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be funny." Like, because if she brings her energy, Like, and I'm gonna be mad if she's watered down. Like, I'm gonna feel personally disappointed by her if
I
she
do
doesn't,
feel like the Golden Globes is the ceremony that gets a little bit edgier because they're not
for
the
sure.
Oscars, so they're not as watched. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like we're
So
the
true.
people who watch the Golden Globes because like we
Mhm.
understand that this is also like the
This is
pre-show
Oscar
to what
prediction,
will
right?
yeah, this is like, hey, this is what might get nominated for Oscars. This might be what's in contention for the Emmys later on in the
Mhm.
year. Like it kind of gives you like
Yeah, this
a
is the kickoff to the season for me.
yeah, like it gives you like
Yeah.
a preview of what you can expect in the future of the award shows this year.
Yeah.
Um it's so funny. I had to text somebody. I do volunteer work on Sunday nights, and I'm needed this Sunday, and it's usually from 6:30 to 8. And I texted them and I was like, "Hey, I gotta bounce at 7:45
Yeah, I gotta be home for the opening
like,
monologue.
because I
For
gotta be.
sure.
I cannot miss that opening monologue. Like,
No, yeah,
there's
that's if I fall asleep 20 minutes later, it'll be fine, but I'm gonna catch that monologue.
well, and I'm gonna be. I mean, I guess I can announce it here. Starting on Monday on Geekscape TV, I'm going to be attempting. We'll see if I succeed on this. I'm going to attempt to do like a 10 to 15 minute like what's new in geek news video every morning.
Ooh,
And
wow.
I picked Monday to start because obviously just going over all the results of the Golden Globes is like an easy first day home run. So
A nice filler. For sure, I'm excited. I can't wait to watch
do
it on Monday morning at work.
do you think, because this is the other thing I'm thinking about with the news story though, do you think we get one big exciting movie trailer premiere in the middle of the show during commercial
Ooh,
breaks? And if so, what
what
movie
is?
what movie are we like still waiting on a trailer for that
Oh,
like
man.
we might see?
What are like, I'm trying to think of, like, what the biggest like, what are we really waiting for? Like, there's gonna be what? Like, a new what am I waiting so 28 Years Later was the one I was, like, so excited for, but
And
obviously
then
that's
it
a
just
Marvel
happened to
version.
come out. Yeah.
And then Captain like, all the ones that I'm most excited about, I feel like have already dropped.
Have we gotten I'm looking at the list of movies I'm excited for in the coming year, up until like at least April. Have we gotten a Snow White trailer yet?
We not that I know of.
Then it might be
I
Snow
would
White.
be that would be pretty
'Cause
awesome.
that's
We've
late
gotten
March, so that's, like,
yeah.
the right time where you're giving us still, like, 3 months to get excited about that trailer.
Yeah, that's just about like, looking at the list of big ones, that's the only heavy hitter out here that we haven't seen yet, right?
That or The Monkey, yet another Stephen King
Ah,
adaptation.
would I be mad? No, I would not.
Do I think that The Monkey's important enough for it to get a Golden Globes
Golden
level
Globe
premiere?
back. Oh, that would definitely tank it at the box office. It would never make that back in the box office.
Uh,
Yeah, I promise I'll do better for the Oscars, man. I will have watched all
no,
of these
we're gonna
flicks.
no, we I mean, Oscars I take so seriously. I do not
Oh
wanna
my
be on
gosh, me
here not
too.
knowing the Oscars, but I
No, I
I
will
had
not come on
s
if I haven't watched all those
yeah,
films.
I
The
had so
Brutalist, I'm probably
many
not gonna watch.
nah. Unless it's listen, if it's like sweeping every category, I feel like we have no choice.
Take the
But if
first half,
it's
I'll take the
yeah,
second, and we'll put it
yeah,
together.
yeah, we'll just talk to each
Like
other.
homework at school. Like, you do the first 5 pages, I'll do
No,
the
but for
second.
real, like if the Brutalist is like nominated for like the odd acting
Or if
role
it's
like
sweet.
nominee, I'm like, all right, maybe not. But if it's like every category, I'm like, all
We
right,
gotta
I
yeah, we gotta suck it up, yeah.
that was me with Oppenheimer. Like I knew it was gonna be good. I just didn't want to watch it. And then like last year it was nominated for damn near every single
Mhm. Oh, I
award. And I was
know.
like,
I really
fine, fine.
I know. I really thought I'd get away with just watching Barbie of that whole thing, but unfortunately,
And listen,
I
I
gotta
still
suck it
stand
up
by Barbie
too.
was the better, more enjoyable experience to
Watch
watch.
Barbie anytime it's on. Who can say that about Oppenheimer?
No, no. It was a great experience. Well,
We had
Marissa,
fun.
thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you, yes.
like behind the scenes for the people watching, Marissa and I have been friends for like close to
Oh my
10 years
gosh.
now.
It's just
But like
crazy.
pretty much post COVID, being able to find time to hang out has
Oh
been
my
impossible.
gosh.
So being
It's
able
the
to sit
only
and
reason I
geek
can
out
work.
for an hour was
Yes.
like an absolute delight.
Same
So,
here. I miss you and adore you, and we absolutely love being a part of Geekscape. It is awesome.
yay. Well, one last
Yay.
time for those who tuned in, checked out.
Yes,
Again,
please.
what do you do podcasting wise? Tell them.
Come check us out over at the Geekscape Network, at Jersey Ghouls. We are a feminist horror podcast that also try to make you laugh once in a while too. So definitely check us out and check out all of our amazing content at the Jersey Ghouls, who will hopefully be available on the Geekscape network soon, on our website. Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, no, we have a lot of fun, and thank you for letting me be a part of this.
All right, and we'll be back with more live stream content throughout the year. So thank you for
Yes.
those of you who tuned in, and spread the
Yep.
word that this was fun.
Yes,
Please,
thank you.
please.